Humi la dusini launch the Democratic Party in Anglone and Humi Yali Tapshitango. Chizanta Pudung Tony Samotang by Natangarazo Kadune Pugish to Samotang and Angitambuzi de Wore. Chizan Pudung Tony Samotang by Ina Humi Tangmen Anglone, the Koran Hagachi. Pugi, Data say Tandali by Nere, Yana Shunla Katacha by Nere, Rawan, the Domi Toptang Chetu by Nere, Koran Le Nubache to a massive Kalekaku Resangu. Tanda Kamunanda, the Degatone, Perla Gabuchine, we meet in the Mangu Yungur, Yana Katachagi Yilang the day Mangu Yungur. In a Mone Tani, Yana Sugu Katacha to Tawaina. Donald Trump Dojik Chasha in a Janal Katichagi is Mangula digger in a Korangi, Sotra Gichala Sosa Sama Janal Sugur. Janala Pinjo Tong Yang Shuk Chesha Chidingita, the Korancha de Gorta. Dinang Shi Chen Aranzo, Mission Bagin and Lola Chashawina, Kaniki she do some like Janala Monegi, Sik to pushing it in the Gabri Yungu Yore, Yimba Yine, Koranzo Tsangma, Sugi Wangchaki Walla Yore, Mugan Chambudigedi. Any corporation chambudige, the digi wangcheg walla drodigi or did do sambala. Arinang logi corporation the Mugan chambudige, Katu Yine, Yanashula Beleshi Gonegi, Dizuji Shagi, Yudizabala, and Sinzi Tazu Cheve Kabla, Legun Seve Kabla, Kat Deo, Garoshe to your de Yine, Leguna Leps Have Jugola, Mone Tanegi, Tula, Gana Shunla Katecha Tungela, Pe massive union, Pe massive component. Then that on some time when a Bernie Sanders Koran, Monegi Tanda Kalagre. Taringi Kurangi Legu Chedanti Tone sometime Dizabala, Mukang like capture Guguyomare, Corporation like capture Guguyomare, Sukan like capture Mogonye, Miman Kuma Rangi Chedoyal, Denjagala Langche, Legunzong, the Korachico Chadi, or Chezanding, Kuksik Shuna Samsra. Let me just say a couple of words in English. I'm really here to tell you and to tell all of us that Tibetans are feeling the burn. And when I say Tibetans are feeling the burn, we know that Bernie Sanders is not only the best candidate for this country. We know that Bernie Sanders is the only candidate for this country and for the free world. But when I say Tibetans are feeling the burn, I also mean something else. Today we had a huge Tibetan gathering over here. Several hundred Tibetans came together in Liberty Plaza. Why were we here? We are here because Tibetans are burning for freedom. Tibetans are literally burning themselves for freedom, for a free Tibet. More than 150 Tibetans in the last few years have self-immolated for a free Tibet. And these people, by using non-violent resistance, Tibetans are taking on the Chinese government. Tibetans are taking on China's colonial occupation in Tibet. And we ask ourselves, of all the candidates running for the office of the world's most powerful country, who will stand up for the world's most vulnerable people? Who will stand up for human rights? Who will stand up for freedom? And who will stand up against the biggest dictatorships in this world? And of course, we know all the candidates speak out when they are running. All the candidates like to talk a really nice talk about taking on the dictatorships, taking on the authoritarian regimes around the world, and supporting those who are struggling for freedom and human rights. But many of these candidates, almost every single one of these candidates, regardless of any party, every single one of these candidates are supported and funded and controlled by the big banks and the corporations. Every single one of them. And the only person who is not controlled and bought by these banks and corporations is Bernie Sanders. When you are controlled by these corporations, you know that the interest of the corporations is to do trade with China. Regardless of human rights abuses, human rights violations, these things don't matter. So all these candidates, when they end up in office, they are going to do everything possible to to allow and to enable the corporations and the banks to do business with the authoritarian regimes around the world, whether it's in China or in Burma or North Korea or Iran or Pakistan or anywhere. And that's why I think as a Tibetan, it's really important for us on a personal level, because for us there is no bigger issue than human rights and freedom. There is no bigger issue than that. And we define ourselves by that issue. And when it comes to that, the only person who has a foreign policy that is beneficial to human rights, that will truly promote freedom, that will truly take on the dictatorships, is Bernie Sanders.
Yeah!
And I would just like to add in conclusion, I think not just as a Tibetan, but also as a Buddhist. As a Buddhist, nowadays when we look at Facebook, we see a lot of memes. If Jesus was still around, who would he choose? Who would he vote for? Who would he elect? And it's so obvious that Jesus would choose Bernie Sanders. So it made me think, if Buddha was still around, who would he choose? Who would Buddha vote for? And actually, it's not that, although Buddha hasn't been around for more than 2,500 years, it is actually not that difficult to kind of guess, to kind of estimate that who Buddha would choose based on what qualities. And the qualification, the number one qualification that Buddha would look for. Buddha always sought to remedy every evil at the root, not just the symptoms. Buddha did not care much about the symptoms. He really went for the root. He wanted to take out the tree of cancer from the root. And right now, from all the candidates who are running for office, the only person who is not just interested in the symptoms of the disease in this country and the world, the only person who is actually dedicated to taking out the cancer that's plaguing this country by the root is Bernie Sanders. And that root, what is that root? It is inequality. And the only person who is not only interested and committed to, but also the best equipped to take on this disease right now is Bernie Sanders, who will fight inequality tooth and nail. And as Tibetans, as immigrants, as refugees, as exiles, as working class people, there is no candidate now or in the past or in the future who can deliver the best goals that anybody can hope for, who can deliver the freedom and the human rights and the equality that we all seek. There is no one other than Bernie Sanders. He is the only candidate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tendor. We're going to go right back to music, but I want to say one point that you made is